Welcome to Evolving Into Her. I'm Ashley Hope, and this is your weekly check-in to get out of your head, into your body, and back into alignment with the version of you who's already living the vision. So grab your favorite cup of tea, settle in, and let's get into the show. Hey girl, hey, and welcome back to Evolving Into Her. This is the space where we talk about who you're becoming and how to stay rooted while everything around you and inside of you is shifting. I'm Ashley Hope, and today we're not rushing, girl. This episode is a soft exhale. This episode is a mirror. It's a moment to slow down and really feel your growth. And not just the stuff that shows up on your IG feed, right? I'm talking about the kind of growth that's quiet. The kind that you missed because you were already moving on to the next version of you. I've said this before, but I'll say this again. There's a version of you who prayed for where you are right now. And you might be living in the middle of an answered prayer without even realizing it. So today's episode is your reminder, gentle reminder, big sis reminder, that the woman you're becoming is already present. She's already active. And she deserves to be acknowledged and celebrated. So today we're going to talk about what it means to recognize your own progress and why gratitude is an energetic amplifier. What celebrating your wins does to your nervous system and your identity, how to shift out of performance mode and into presence, and why you don't have to keep proving you've grown to trust that the work you've done is already working. So let's talk, sis. This one is sacred. Let's get into the show. Let me start with this. When you've been doing the work for a while, you can become so used to growing, so used to processing, analyzing, integrating, healing, that you forget to look up and realize, I'm already different. I've already grown. I've already healed so much. Seriously, just think about it for a moment. What's something you used to tolerate that now immediately feels like a no? What's a boundary you enforce now that you never even knew you were allowed to set? What's a version of you that used to need closure or validation or the last word that now just breathes and walks away? Or just types okay, or says nothing at all? Sis, that's real growth. But I've noticed the longer you're in this journey, the easier it is to normalize your progress, especially if you're always focused on what still needs work. And that's not a flaw, that's biology. Your reticular activating system, we talked about this in a previous episode. This is the part of your brain that filters information. Your reticular activating system is trained to look out for what you've decided is important. So if you only focus on what's missing, where you're lacking, you're going to keep finding lack. But if you shift that focus to celebration, you literally rewire your brain to see your progress as truth. So I'll ask you what I had to ask myself a while back. Have you actually missed some of your own arrivals because you didn't pause to witness them? That was a bar, so I'm going to repeat this, and I'm going to need you to write this down, sis. Have you actually missed some of your own arrivals because you didn't pause to witness them? And while I'm thinking about it, this is a funny story. One of my homegirls DM'd me and she was like, well, Ashley, I try to listen to the podcast while I'm on my walk, but then you tell me to take notes and I got to pause and I got to go home and re-listen and take notes. And if you guys are out doing something, girl, make a mental note, all right? Or open up your phone and put the note in your notes folder or notes app and go on about the show. Okay. Sorry, y'all, but I need y'all to take notes so y'all can remember and retain. Okay. And shout out to my homegirl, Nay. I know you're listening. Thank you for your support. I love you so much. But back to the show. So last year, I think I told you guys that I did so much work to get out of my own way. And it was so uncomfortable. And there was a specific week last summer. I remember this vividly. everything fell off. And it wasn't hormones. It wasn't that my cycle was here, that I was ovulating or something else was going on. I had a to-do list full of things I didn't complete yet. I was more tired than usual. I was spiritually foggy, energetically scattered. Old thoughts started creeping in like, what am I even doing? And this shouldn't have to feel this hard. But instead of spiraling, I paused. I sat in stillness. I asked myself, what did I do this week that I'm proud of? And do you know what I came up with? I didn't avoid my emotions. Praise God. All right. I reached out to a friend instead of isolating. I stopped doom scrolling. And baby, I laid down and took a nap instead. I reminded myself that I wasn't behind and that this was just a season of stretching. This was just a season of obedience, and it was just an uncomfortable season. And none of those things were big, right? But they were everything. And it reminded me that sometimes growth doesn't look like a breakthrough. It looks like not spiraling, not crashing out, not giving up. It looks like softness where there used to be survival. It looks like choosing presence over productivity. And all of that matters. And that deserves as much celebration as the external wins. And so let's talk about gratitude. I'm huge on gratitude, but not from a surface level Instagram quote perspective. Let's talk about it as a practice, as an energy that shapes your lived reality. So fun fact, gratitude shifts you out of the part of your brain that's constantly scanning for problems and into the part that's capable of experiencing joy and connection and possibility. The prefrontal cortex is activated when we express gratitude, and that's the part of the brain linked to trust, to long-term vision, and to emotional regulation. So every time you pause and say, I'm thankful for where I am, even though I'm still in progress, you're literally anchoring your body in peace. You're telling your system, we're good here. You're reminding your future self, I've already received so much and I'm open to more. Gratitude turns waiting into welcoming. It turns uncertainty into trust. It turns your everyday life into a piece of sacred witnessing. So if you're wondering how to raise your frequency, babe, start by becoming more available to the miracles you're already living in. So if you've ever been part of my private community, you already know what I'm about to say. Every week without fail, we celebrated our wins. And not just the big ones, right? We celebrated everything. Nothing was too small or mundane to be celebrated. We clapped for, I went outside and got some sun. Okay. I didn't answer a call that would have drained me. I didn't text back that man. I trusted my yes. I said, I'm tired, and actually let myself rest. And the beauty of that space was that we didn't rank the wins. We didn't say, oh, yours is more impressive than mine. We held space for all of it. Because for so many of us, especially as Black and brown women, the world only celebrates us when we're producing. But our softness is worthy. Our boundaries are worthy. Our rest is worthy. And that weekly ritual wasn't just about good vibes, right? It was an act of resistance. It was a declaration that we are more than our output. We are more than our productivity. We are more than our accomplishments. It was a communal nervous system regulation. And it was proof that you don't need outside validation to affirm your growth, right? Just a moment to be seen. So here's a practical ritual you can start tonight. And I promise you, it will change your relationship to yourself. So at the end of each day, I take 5 minutes, just 5, no journaling required, though you can if you want to. And I ask myself 2 very simple things. What did I do today that I'm proud of? And the second thing is, what am I thankful for, even if it hasn't arrived yet? The first question gives you a moment to reflect on your embodied growth. Because some days the answers will be big, like you launched something or you graduated, you got another degree, you got a promotion. Other days it'll be, I didn't go numb, or I made space for joy. And every single one is valid. Okay. And the second question, that's how I stay in the frequency of trust and of faith, because I'm not calling experiences and people and feelings from lack. I'm preparing them from gratitude. So I'm not obsessing over when it's coming. I'm already giving thanks like it's already done, because it is, and it is so. And that shift has opened up so much ease in my life. And I know it can in yours too. Friend, this is a reminder that you've already done the healing. You've already set the boundaries. You've already been obedient to the nudges. You've already walked away from what was draining you, even when it was familiar. That wasn't for nothing. Okay? That work is doing what it came to do. All right? Clock it. And it might not all be visible yet, but it's happening. Just like seeds in the soil, you don't dig them up every day to see if they're growing. You trust the process. You water it. You show up. You pull the weeds. You rest. And I believe that's the season some of you are in now, right? You're planted, you're grounded, you're rooted. And in divine timing, everything you've poured into yourself, little, small, significant or not, it will all bloom in divine timing and divine order. Believe that, trust that, know that. And your job right now is to tend to your soil, protect your peace, celebrate the quiet evidence, and give thanks in advance. All right, let's drop in. We've talked about a lot, but now we embody it. This is the part of the episode where we take a sacred pause to move out of the mind and into the body, to return to center, to presence, to peace. This isn't a closing. This is really an arrival. And this is a moment for her. So close your eyes and place one hand on your heart, one over your belly if you feel called to. And just let your breath deepen. Inhale and exhale slowly. And now repeat after me or just receive it gently. I honor my growth, seen or unseen. I recognize the woman I'm becoming lives inside of me now. I trust that what's meant for me is already aligned with me. I celebrate my journey in all its phases. I let the work I've done work for me. And I give thanks, for it is already done. And friend, rest in that truth. Let your nervous system feel it. Let your conscious and subconscious mind receive it. Let your spirit exhale. Let it be. And that's it for today, sis. And not because we finished. We have so much more to talk about, so much more to discuss. But because you have enough for now, you have enough for today. And it is so. And I hope that this episode helped you come back to yourself, to your knowing. And if it did, please don't keep it to yourself. Don't be stingy, okay? Send it to a woman who's been doing the work and just needed a reminder that it is working. And if you feel called to receive ongoing energetic support, check out Her Energy Reset. The link is in the show notes. And until next time, keep becoming, keep breathing. And don't forget, you've already healed so much. You've already overcome so much. You've already transformed so much. You've already evolved so much. You've already arrived in so many ways. Acknowledge it and celebrate it. Friend, I'm Ashley Hope, and you are evolving into her. I'm Ashley Hope, and you've been listening to Evolving into Her. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for choosing her, for choosing yourself. And until next time, stay in devotion to your becoming.